Rochester, New Hampshire, the Lilac City, a mill town settled in 1749, and Governor Mitt Romney's first Sunday campaign stop ahead of Tuesday's first-in-the-nation primary. Like many of her fellow New Hampshire Republicans, first-time voter Leah Wilson is still undecided.
I'm not fully committed to anyone just yet, but I've been reading up on a lot of it and I'm really interested, so I'm really excited to see what he's going to say today.
Former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney is expected to do well in New Hampshire. He leads in the polls. The governor of a neighboring state and the owner of a summer home here, he's almost a local. Romney's been ignoring his Republican competitors. He has his sights on President Barack Obama and the general election.
This president is a nice guy who just doesn't get it. I spent my career in the private sector. I'm not perfect, but I do get it, and I will use what I know to get America to work.
His pitch falls short for independent voter Sandra Archer.
The jury's still out. I still don't know how I feel about Governor Romney or anybody else in the field.
There is a general sense that although he is competent, there may be a better nominee. Even some of those who have decided on the governor, endorsing his bid, remain unexcited by him.
And I think that's part of his problem everywhere. It's either the anti-Met or, gee, I'm not quite sure. There's all this other stuff. I initially, a year ago, if you had told me you're going to support Mitt Romney, I'd go, yeah, pigs fly.
The ambivalence toward Governor Romney is fuel for his challengers. They know they don't have to beat him. They just have to do well enough to remain in the race to go on and compete in South Carolina and Florida, the next primaries. That means frequent and direct interaction with potential voters, interaction enthusiastic young volunteers can often provide, even by flyering at the town trash dump.
I've gotten my mom and dad to vote for Ron Paul after a lot of work. I've gotten my aunts and uncles to look at him pretty seriously. I've gotten my grandparents to say, okay, I'm going to vote for him. And even at the dump, me able to talk to people. I mean, there's so much information out there.
One more, two here.
On Monday, Congressman Ron Paul spoke in the middle of the day at the headquarters of Timberland.
But you have to have production, you have to make profits, and then labor value goes up. The things that you want regulated can be done by just having the rules.
Timberland employee and 2008 Obama voter Sarah Flaherty showed up to learn more.
We have a unique opportunity here to see a lot of the candidates and really listen to their message rather than just seeing, clips and sound bites on the news. So I think we do have the chance to learn more and talk to them more on a one-on-one basis or in small groups like this.
New Hampshire is unique in that independent, unaffiliated voters can also vote in party primaries. They make up 40% of the electorate here, and they can show up on primary day, register with the party, and vote in that primary. So with no contested Democratic primary this year, there are a lot of potential voters up for grabs in this election. Candidates must make repeated efforts to secure each and every potential vote. Town hall meetings are common.
They have to appeal, similar to how they would have to appeal in a general election. So I think it's very indicative of the flavor of the rest of the country.
I'm the only candidate out there on either side, other than the president.
Senator Rick Santorum hopes to build on his second-place finish in Iowa to become the conservative alternative to Romney. The media scrum around him shows he's still got momentum from the caucuses. I asked him if he was trying to use it to appeal to rural voters here.
New Hampshire's made up of a lot of small towns and communities, small businesses, that's the message here, and that's the message we delivered on election night, caucus night in Iowa.
The primary has attracted tourists from around the world. This group of high school kids hails from Westchester County, New York. Monday morning breakfast at the Airport Diner in Manchester. Connecticut resident Jordan Anderson is completing a college course on elections while volunteering for Santorum.
It's really awesome. Anybody that likes politics or is involved in politics in any way, this is like lifetime experience.
Gingrich is the conservative choice for this touring Massachusetts resident.
I want someone other than Governor Romney. I think that President Obama doesn't deserve another term. And for my part, I'm going to go with Gingrich.
This event at Manchester's Don Quixote restaurant, targeting Latino voters, seems to have worked for this Colombian immigrant.
He's very straightforward, very straight. His answers, he seems very honest.
Perhaps the possibilities of New Hampshire are best revealed in the strategy of former Utah Governor Jon Huntsman.
New Hampshire is the window through which the rest of the country is able to assess and analyze and understand those running for the highest office in the land.
Ignoring Iowa in favor of making a big show here, he's put everything on the line in the hopes of finishing among the top 3.
I think it's fair. I think the system has served us well over 100 years. I think it's in the DNA of the citizens of this state to get out, kick the tires, do the due diligence, get to know the candidates. It's a pretty special place.
Candidate confirmation of New Hampshire's impact on the nation and world. I'm Anna Sale in New Hampshire.